Now start on Facebook, and we have Congressman Payne. You can leave your video up if you want to, Rob. Can anybody hear me? Is anybody there? I feel like I'm in like a. I feel like I had like a nightmare about this, where nobody could hear me. Chat? Somebody in the chat? Let's see. Having trouble accessing the audio. Oh no. Oh, we got somebody joining. Give me some good news. Rob's back. It's just Rob. Who cares? I'm waiting for the congressman. I think he's having trouble connecting the audio, so I just said maybe just download the app. Might be easier.
So when you do it on this platform, I'm saying, is the meeting going to be on here and then it's going to be emulated on YouTube, or you're just doing it on multiple things?
I'm doing it. I got my phone that's going to stream it on Facebook for a third thing, because I think most people watch it on Facebook. But then what you could do is when you're on Jitsi, it gives you it's called a stream key, and then you could broadcast it on YouTube. So right now we're broadcasting on YouTube as well. I don't know if people are actually watching on YouTube, but it's funny because I think people forget about the invite. But when you've seen it on Facebook, when somebody goes live on Facebook, you all of a sudden get a push notification on Facebook. So I think it alerts you. It's just like a nice way of reminding you, like, hey, there's something going on. Drum roll, do we have the congressman? My dad's calling me right now, but I can't answer him. Got important stuff to do. Oh, there you go, Blake. Hey, how's it going, man?
I'm doing all right. Yeah, the computer version, I'm not sure what's going on with the computer version.
Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. I gave you this janky app to use, but it's free. So.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's like it was when I logged in, it just kept saying I could hear the gentleman with the glasses and the beard.
Yeah,
but
I got a beard now.
Yeah, but I couldn't. I could hear him, but I couldn't hear you. And so I don't know what was going on. And when I logged in, it just kept saying fail to access, something like that. So it was a little weird with the computer version. So
no worries. The app is just a little bit easier, but
yeah,
it should be good now, I guess.
Yep, I haven't. Let me just tell the congressman.
I'm here.
Oh, you are here, Congressman? Okay. I wasn't sure if you were there or not, just because I was having technical difficulties.
Congressman Payne, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Are you good to go, or do you need a minute to get ready? Or
yeah, let me tell you in a minute. Let's see here.
And Mayor, the way I saw the flyer had a YouTube link, so YouTube can see what we're doing in here.
Yeah, exactly. So I've
Okay,
got
cool.
so basically, yeah, there's like a stream key. So what you do is I'm just going to put this in the chat real quick.
Okay.
And if you want to share that, that's just the easiest way to do it. Is you can see it on YouTube right now.
Okay, yeah, that works because that the flyer, that's what we had. We used, so I'm pretty sure they used the link from the flyer.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
exactly right. Yep.
Perfect.
Did you get that? You got that link?
Yes.
Cool. How are you holding up, Blake?
I'm doing well. Can't complain.
We can see your beautiful face on video if you want. You can tap
Yeah, I tapped something. I don't know. I gotta figure it out. Yeah, so everything's going well.
just about as well as it can go, right?
Yeah, the kids being home from school has been a smooth adjustment, so that's made it a lot easier.
I just, I don't, I've got, the only thing that I've got to worry about is I've got a cat that I just adopted that, I got to take care of. But like, having to work from home plus manage kids, like you guys are, I couldn't imagine managing that right now.
Yeah, and I feel bad for people who have kids who are in like first, second, third grade.
Yep.
Because they don't even know how to really work the computer yet. So like our son, he's in fifth grade. So he's, it's easy for him to work the Google Classroom and everything like that. So it's just, hey, open the computer, log in, figure out how they've uploaded the assignments, whether it's daily or weekly, and go to work and get it done. But I have friends who have like first grade or second graders, and it's like they work it takes all day to get the work done.
Yeah. Let me just hold on 1 second here.
Okay, gentlemen, I'm ready.
Cool. So Congressman Payne, we're here talking with your favorite mayor in your favorite borough, Roselle Park. I'm so excited to have you. And I know they're all your favorites, so I'm just going to let that one slide.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for taking the time. I just figured it'd be awesome to catch up. There's a lot going on that happened with the first, COVID stimulus bill. There's a lot more going on potentially with the second one. I was just wondering, maybe you could tell us a little bit about some of the great stuff that you and Congress did in the first bill, and maybe talk about just some of the big points coming up for these next bills and what we can expect down the road here locally.
Sure. Let me first say it is great to be back with my constituents from Roselle Park, town that I've grown to love and respect a great deal, and always look forward with interacting with the community out there. You have a great community there in Roselle Park, and sorry it's taken so long to get to you, but we've been going in alphabetical order. But you actually jumped Broadway, so go ahead.
We soared above our weight class there. That's awesome.
Absolutely. But, you know, today I wanted to discuss two of the most important topics right now, the coronavirus and also the 2020 census. You know, as we have seen, coronavirus has created both a public health and economic crisis in our country. In Union County, we have more than 12,000 cases and more than 600 deaths from this disease. In Roosevelt Park, there have been more than 200 cases, and unfortunately, we've lost 4 residents to the disease. I know Overlook Medical Center in Union's campus has been busy trying to handle all the coronavirus cases, but we will not get back to normal in this country without testing. Last week, we passed the 4th coronavirus aid package in Congress, and it authorized $25 billion to enhance the country's testing, as well as $75 billion to get more protective gear and supplies to our courageous medical workers out there. But patients and medical staff, you know, really are not the only people suffering right now. You know, we know the whole issue around our small businesses or life support. And as a nation, we already have gone through the first $349 billion in stimulus to small businesses across the country. This 4th package added an additional $310 billion to the popular PPP Payroll Protection Program. That fund provides forgivable loans to small businesses to pay their employees through this rough time. But we have to make sure that this money goes to the businesses that need it, like the ones on Chestnut Street and Westfield Avenue. It's made me furious to read about the large companies that took the stimulus money and they did not even really need it. They have other ways to get funding right now, but our small businesses do not have those resources and really are desperately relying on that money to help make them whole. Now, that is why we made sure that to include $60 billion for community-based lenders as well as small credit banks and credit agencies. These are firms that drive development in our economic areas and underfunded communities, and they provide resources to women-owned businesses and small businesses alike. Also, we've allocated an extra $10 billion to the Emergency Economic Injury Disaster Fund grants. This addition guarantees that small businesses with less than 500 employees, and I really am looking for them to drill down to smaller businesses than that. I'm looking for them to drill down to businesses under 50 employees to really impact the type of small businesses that we have in Roosevelt Park and our communities in the 10th district. Personally, I would like to fund that provides the same support for companies with smaller numbers of employees. If you need that funding, my website has an entire page dedicated to helping constituents apply for benefits from our aid packages. So please don't hesitate to visit my website at payne.house.gov. That's payne.house.gov. It contains links to agencies and departments to really help you get those funds, as well as unemployment benefits, which have become very important during this time. Also, it has information on how to keep your family safe. Again, my website is payne.house.gov. If you have specific questions that you need answered, we have 2 numbers. We have our Union County number, where Blake Johnson handles the issues in Union County, and that number is 862-229-2994. 862-229-2994. And we're on the job still every day to help you directly with federal agency issues and to get you where you need to be. There are more actions that I've been taking personally to help you throughout this whole issue. I've heard that our essential workers only get hazard pay if they catch the coronavirus. Well, I wrote a bill that would give them hazard or extra pay just for being on the job during this critical time in this national crisis. These are bus drivers, custodians, grocery store clerks, gas attendants, all people in our economy that cannot take off and are really keeping us alive and safe during these times. They're risking their lives, and we need to reward them for their efforts as well as do everything we can to keep them safe as well. Also, I'm working to get New Jersey the additional medical supplies it needs to treat patients with the coronavirus. For example, I found a new ventilator design and asked the Food and Drug Administration to review it several months ago. And they approved my request, and weeks later, we now have a respirator that is quick and can be produced rapidly. And so the governor and Colonel Callahan of OEM are looking at that and seeing how it can be helpful. In addition, I asked the FDA to approve a local face mask for national use. We're still low on those supplies. I'm doing everything I can to get us more of those types of items to make sure that our hospital workers can remain safe. And I'm always looking to care for our most vulnerable residents during any crisis. As we get ready to discuss the fifth stimulus package, I wrote a letter to the White House and Speaker Pelosi and Minority Leader McCarthy to provide money for dialysis patients in domestic abuse centers. Dialysis patients like me cannot afford to stay home. We need life-saving treatments, and that puts us and our caretakers at risk every single day. Also, I'm extremely disturbed to read about the possible increases in domestic violence and child abuse during our stay-home period. When this is over, those victims are going to need help. I want to make sure that centers are ready for them when they arrive. The other major issue is the census. Right now, almost 2/3 of Roselle Park's residents have responded to the census, and that is a great number, and it's better than the average in the state, but it needs to be higher. It is quite a coincidence that the coronavirus has exposed the vital importance of proper population count. Without strong census participation, communities could really lose a lot of funding for hospitals, medical centers, and first responders. And they could lose funding for those roads that get them from patient homes to hospital beds. Officials extended the deadline to file for the census, but that's no excuse to wait. All of us must get the word out to residents to fill out the census form. It doesn't cost you anything, but it could cost you everything. That's really all I have for right now. And thank you for inviting me once again, and I will try to answer any questions you have.
So Congressman Payne, that's awesome. We appreciate all the efforts. I can't stress enough, and I want to double click on the census. So much of the road work and the federal support we get is contingent upon filling out that census and getting counted properly. So I just want to say, underline that while you guys are hanging out at home, while we're doing the right thing in social distancing, it takes so little to fill that out, but it has so much long-term meaning. In terms of what our schools getting, what we're getting to pave our roads, anything that has to do with federal funding. It's all driven by the census. So super, super important. And I hope you guys fill that out. On a side note, Congressman Payne, what are you doing now that you're kind of social distancing? I figure, we lighten up a little bit. Like, is there any good kind of movies you're watching or any good series, anything you can suggest to the people of Roosevelt Park?
Oh boy, I tell you, I've really been able to get into television to a depth that I had not been able to, other than the news shows that I normally watch or glued to. But yeah, I have enjoyed Hulu, and there is a series on about Miss America. And it has to do with the 1970s, late 70s fight over the Equal Rights Amendment, and going through that whole historical account. So naturally, I'm glued to politics once again, even in my entertainment and television. Actually, I've been watching a few repeats of some sports events. So really kind of been into the nostalgia aspect of it, and I've tried to watch Ozark, but it's pretty dark, and so I'm really trying to find things to lighten up the whole situation here. So I started watching Ozark, but I had to shy away from it, and
that's heavy. Ozark is heavy stuff.
Oh yeah. And but it's been very entertaining to get into Netflix and Hulu and all of that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it. I need to disconnect from politics now and again. So when I try to disconnect, I just play video games. I've been playing a lot of Xbox. I feel like a 13-year-old again.
Yeah, I kind of missed the whole video game time period. I'm a little older than you, a little longer in the tooth than you.
Let me. So we got a couple minutes. I want to stop at 5 because I know you got a lot going on. So I'm just gonna take a look here and see if we have any questions. First, I'm gonna see if anybody on Jitsi. I'm gonna unmute you guys. Have anything that you want to say? I think you can actually. I muted you guys, but I think you can unmute yourselves if you've got the app. If you have any questions, I see a couple people over here. Go ahead. Looks like Chris is itching, chomping at the bit. You want to go first, Chris?
Yeah, sure. Hey, Congressman. It's Chris Shoemaker. We've met a few times. You took me to that Black History Month event last year at Bethesda Hospital in Newark.
Oh yeah.
Hi, how are you? Just a quick question about the package. It's hopefully going to be voted on soon. Is that going to be sent for small business owners only, or?
What was the question, Chris? You cut off.
For the stimulus package,
yeah,
that's going to be up for a vote. Is that going to be sent to small business owners only? Is that going to be sent out to like the first package?
No, it's what we Chris, in terms of legislation, what you learn as you move on, you're trying to refine your efforts from the first package, and where you made mistakes or people found loopholes to take advantage of the legislation. And there's always someone looking to take advantage of whatever you create. And so what we've been doing is trying to close those loopholes and make sure that this money gets down to people, in communities such as Roosevelt Park, on the ground, touching people in their homes, as opposed to good example of a glaring problem in the whole first package was Ruth Chris was able to get $20 million through that first stimulus package, which it was never meant for a Ruth Chris to get. They have other avenues of getting funding, and what we've done now is we added a stipulation. There's a certain criteria that you have to answer when taking this money, and if you don't meet the criteria, you need to return the money. So a few companies on that size have had to return the money. Shake Shack was one. Ruth Chris comes to mind, and there have been several others that had to return the money because they didn't meet the criteria for the stimulus package. So we're trying to drill down to, like I said, I'm trying to get to companies with 10 employees and make a difference there, because those are the ones that are getting laid off and hurt. Luckily, the state has picked up its unemployment efforts and are starting to catch up. They had a very sluggish start, but they're picking up and getting the people and getting their back pay and bringing them current. So we're glad to see that. But this next package is definitely going to focus on smaller businesses to drive down, to dig down, to drill down where we haven't gotten in the first two or three.
That's a good point you're hitting on, Congressman. So, I'm just checking the Facebook comments, and everything. I think the big general theme I'm seeing is obviously whatever you can do for unemployment becoming more and more of an issue. I know you're working hard there, but something that we're facing here locally. So I know we got another 4 minutes. Greg, it looks like you're shopping over there. I hope you're doing it in a safe way. Did you have a question, dude, or are you just here to listen in? Got it. All right, I'm just gonna check the Facebook forum one more time just to see if there's any other questions. Yeah, I think that's it. It was a pretty tidy little update here, Congressman. But when I first got elected, you made a point to make sure that we felt as important as your biggest constituents, and we do every time. You and your office is super responsive, and I can't tell you how much we appreciate it here locally. I know, like every other elected official, you're out there working your tail off, and I can just tell you, as mayor and the citizens of Roselle Park, we all appreciate everything you do, and keep your head up, and thanks for looking out for us as a municipality and as a state and as a congressional district. We really appreciate it, Congressman.
Well, thank you, and I'm just proud to have such a great community as part of the 10th district. It's a real honor and privilege for me that you allow me to be your representative and send me back to Washington every 2 years to do so. And I continue to make my commitment. There's no one part of the district that's any more important than the other. And that's my motto. So, and I will adhere and live up to that. So thank you, Roselle Park. God bless you, and please stay safe.
Thank you, Congressman. Oh, and just one final comment from the forum. I know we're out of time, but USPS, we got some USPS workers here, so hopefully you're looking out for them in the next stimulus bill.
Oh, listen, we've been fighting for them since day one, and we think it's unconscionable what the president, whatever his problems are, they seem personal. But the United States Postal Service are hardworking Americans that go out every single day and make sure that we get the packages and everything, medicines that seniors need. Sometimes the postman is the only person that a senior citizen runs into during a week. And we've known postal service people to have saved senior citizens by noticing that they don't look well or they're not answering their door. And they've been the difference between life and death for people in the past. So they're a vital part of this economy and this country. And we're going to do everything we can. You have my promise that we're going to continue to fight for the Postal Service.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Congressman. I know we threw you with a curve at the end there, but you're on it. like I expected. You have a good afternoon, sir.
You take care. Thank you.
Thank you for setting this up, Blake. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night. No problem.